I remember that morning, um, my May, who's now my wife, but she was my girlfriend at the time, uh, called me and she woke me up. It was around 7:30 or so. She called me on the phone. I think it's 7:30, 7:45, and said, "Are you watching the news right now?" And I was like, "No, what's going on?" It's like there's just so much. There's things going on in New York right now. The the World Trade Center has been hit, and so this is just. I think this is just after the second plane hit the second tower, and maybe one of the towers had gone down already. But I remember just kind of I was still kind of half awake, still waking up. But I went into the other room where the TV was and I turned it on. And it's one of those events where I was 23 at the time, and I remember this is different. This is this is real. I was in the West Coast, so I was always in my little bubble. No, world events have happened, but nothing that really impacted me at the time. And I remember when I was in junior high, this is when we were at war with Iraq for the first time. It was called Desert Shield first, and then it was called Desert Storm after that. And that was involving Kuwait and Iraq and Saddam Hussein. But then I remember thinking, because it was all this news coverage, and I remember thinking, every channel you flip to, it was just coverage, coverage, coverage. And I remember thinking, how, how come I can't watch my shows right now? And that's where I was at this time, like no impact, right? But then, of course, this is on a bigger scale, but I was older this time. I was 23, and I remember, wow, this is crazy. And I remember going to work, and there was a lot of misinformation going on. They're saying planes, they can't even figure out where planes are, and which is untrue. Um, but it was one of those things where this changes everything, and this did change everything. The way we travel now, uh, the way we look at the world, how I looked at just kind of pure evil, and how we felt more vulnerable after that because this is the first major attack on U.S. soil since I don't know when. And so we've had other terrorist attacks within the U.S. like this, but nothing from the outside like this, and nothing to this extent. So I just remember everything was different. I was like watching a documentary on 9/11, maybe just a few years ago. I was watching it on YouTube, and I remember I can't I can't watch this because it was just bringing up so many memories. And I didn't, we did have a family friend that was killed, that was in one of the towers, and I'm not going to pretend I knew him very well. I knew his kids. I'm not saying I was so close with the kids either, but just knowing someone that was there, whom I met a few times in person, who was a dear brother in Christ, I just remember that just had a big impact on me as well. Um, Today is September 11th, 2019, and 18 years ago, of course, there was this attack. Uh, Not only in New York, but don't forget there there was an attack on the Pentagon. Their plane crashed into there, and there was an attempted crash on the White House. They think it's the White House, but due to some brave passengers, they took the plane down, and it crashed in Pennsylvania, about 80 miles southeast of Pittsburgh. So anyway, I'm not sure what to say. I just reflecting back on September 11th, 2001, just makes us realize that there's really some things that are out of our control. Anyway, I don't really know how to conclude this video other than 18 years ago, a horrific incident happened in our history. And depending on what age we are at, some of us may have not been born even, so it may not have that much impact, or we were like too young to remember that day. But really realize that there are things that are out of our control, and that we realize that we need to really depend on the Lord for everything. The heavens do really roll. Anyway, that's all I have for now. iPhone videos can wait. Tech videos can wait. Regular update videos can wait. But I just wanted to do some kind of remembrance for this day.